seen it top lane. We saw it yesterday from Odo Amne. We've seen it also in NA. It's a fantastic, strong top laner. And it is a great matchup into Olaf. When we talk about how do you get the stronger early game in that 2v2 up there, Olaf is going to be one of them. I think personally he's one of the strongest laners in the game. And of course, as you mentioned, it is that flex option.
Now we have a bit of an adaptation here from the Unicorns. Instead of saying, okay, roaming support, so we pick an AD carry that fits. No, we pick Lucian and we pick a support that fits. Lucian Braum is an incredibly potent lane because the double shot obviously allows you to add 2 passes to the stack of Winter's Bite. You can go for stuns. Also, it has good peel, Braum, so when Fnatic is charging at you with that Sivir Olaf combination, you can block the axes, shut off their pathways with the Braum ultimate. So in that sense, skirmish heavy composition from the Unicorns, but this might be better at least.
Here's my concern though. You're building a composition around snowballing Vardax. You give him a lane support that fits with him. You have a Shen.
Will never see it coming.
That's true. That's true. I mean, you're right now saying basically Vardax, you need to win your lane. We're going to have the Shen coming down from top lane to assist you. We have the support that fits you in the laning phase as well. This is the guy who's gone even in almost every lane he's played.
Exactly. And in all their preparation that Fnatic has done, they found out that Vardax will always go even. So surprise, surprise.
I mean, I don't think Fnatic is too afraid of this. I mean, look what they're drafting now.
Yeah.
Insane team fights on it. They're saying, okay, fair enough. You take the stronger level 1 jungler. We're not going to try and go for this 2v2 fight necessarily top lane right now. Instead, we're drafting for a heavy team fight composition around the mid game. Nash's Tooth on Azir. Rumble gets his magic penetration. And then we say, dragon fights? Yes, please.
And I also remember Fnatic talking about the Olaf in the jungle. They always know they can get to late game. He prefers Olaf in certain circumstances. But when you combo him with the Sivir, which Fnatic have done all 3 times they've run that champion, I think it's going to work out. So Unicorns have rounded out their team composition. We are going back to a mid AP Israel.
God damn it, Power of Evil.
I hope that smite changes.
You know Runeglaive has changed, right?
Well, I know I do, but I don't know if Power of Evil does. We are 5-14 for everybody that's at home. Runeglaive no longer works on minions. He's got 20 seconds to change it. I'm expecting it to change.
Doesn't convert to magic damage either for him. I mean, we have seen some 80 Ezreals.
Even if it worked, the problem I have with this pick is that it is, again, it's like
it's the same.
Poke and wait while your entire team wants to go in and skirmish. Yes, Fnatic may be running this like Exodia-esque teamfight composition where they will just annihilate you around dragons, but you kind of opt in for that anyways when you go full-on China style, when you run Lucian Braum, Shen Elise early, like when you want all this aggressive CC coming out, and then Ezreal.
And now you also have less wave clear coming from the mid lane compared to last game. You also have longer scaling time because, again, you really need at least 2 items completed before you can start having an impact on this Ezreal. So you make everything slower for yourself in the mid lane, which was one of the problems in the last game as well.
Does this not signal a problem with Power of Evil's champion pool? It's something that we have talked about throughout the split, and PoE continues to trend for those scaling mid laners. He's not had a chance to use them in game 1. It's game 2. We'll find out if it'll work this time. Unicorns of Love looking to even out the score 1-1 in their semi-final.
And let's of course highlight that AP Ezreal was always a thing. Like, you could always build AP Ezreal. There was more than just a Runeglaive. That was just a massive buff to him.
Yeah, when Runeglaive came out, everyone's like, oh, that ultimate deals so much damage.
Yeah, it's like it always
did that so much damage, guys.
It's not like he's gonna be borderline useless, except for the first 25-30 minutes. And
then is that all?
Well,
in that case, I think we can go home and we just write this game off for the Unicorns.
It took 26 minutes for Fnatic to beat Unicorns in game 1 of the series. It took Fnatic 22 minutes to beat Unicorns in week 9.
I'm just trying to be positive. I don't like the pick. I think it's horrible.
Your way of being positive? Jesus Christ.
That's my split personality right here. We have the positive one and the
not so positive one. All right, let's go over these compositions though. So
even dropped my pen in anger.
It's not your day, is it, Deficio? Fnatic, they're running teamfight composition where they really want to posture around these objectives and then pop the Sivir ulti. If they can send in the Alistar for the combo, you know, Olaf speed up. Traditionally though, they paired it Olaf with a Lulu, so they could at least use Wild Growth on him, speed him up even more, and just making this one-man army, almost Darius-esque in the way TSM did it. This time he's a little squishier, so if he gets a little too aggressive or too ahead of himself, he can get blown up immediately. And we have follow-up peel coming out of the Braum from Hylissang.
Which is why we might see Fnatic in these fights here use the Sivir ulti a bit more defensive in terms of we can kite back, because again, we have the Nash's Tooth, Rylai is coming in from the Zia, fantastic kite, and then Rumble ulti as well as in terms of disengage.
And looking at that Rumble, comboed with Reignover in the 2v2, we keep talking about the impact of the jungler plus top laner. It looks like we're going to have standard lanes again. So what are these 2v2s telling us?
It's a very interesting 2v2 in terms of who gets to jump on the other person, because there's a wealth of CC coming out of Shen and Elise, and a good amount of damage. Shen not so much, Elise does have the damage. But if they overreach and they get punished by a couple of axes and the flame split from Rumble, they can get grilled immediately. So interesting 2v2, but there's an option at least for winning it this time on the side of UoL.
I would honestly have loved to see Fnatic for that exact reason, and also for the reason that Shen is in the top lane. I would like to see Fnatic just a lane swap right here, because Shen is a top laner that requires a strong early game to get that early level 6, get an early tanky item, and then start using that pressure on the other lanes. You can shut that down very effective in a lane swap with a low ecom top lane and Rumble, of course.
You obviously don't know if Fnatic predicted a predictive lane swap by Unicorns and just decided to go bot lane. They are incredibly good at going even though, or however, Lucian Bomb should be able to find an opening here. And the added pressure of Winter's Light early as a zoning tool has allowed the Unicorns to push in. So right now they have a pushing, winning matchup in the bot lane at least. Mid lane is obviously even, farm fest on Ezreal into Azir. So again, they'll have to be watching top lane.
Yeah, we're gonna have to see what Horror can do in this at least. Can he shut down Reignover in the early game? Use that to go for Huni. You have the Shen turned into Cocoon, that's a fantastic CC chain. And with the strong base stats of a Shen, you have good enough damage in the early game to take him down. I want to see if this ends up hurting Fnatic then, that they took standard lanes. Was it too greedy possibly? Or do they say, you know what, we can handle this, we just need some early vision to spot Horror, and then our laners are going to be fine.
As it stands, Fnatic are going even in bottom and mid lane. Huni's earned himself a small advantage over Chachi top, which you somewhat expect, and the wave is pushing away from Reckless and Yellow Star. Down bottom.
And they need to be careful now, because look what Reignover was doing again. He takes early Rift Scuttle on top side, and he early wards here to see, okay, Horror, the Raptor camp is gone, so we know he's taken it, and we haven't spotted him so far in 3 wards. He's going to be bot side, so be careful with this wave pushing up towards Unicorns.
And while junglers are doing the exact same thing mirrored across the map, I feel there's more value out of what Reignover is doing, because he's protecting the a lot weaker, easily gankable top lane. The added Rift Scuttler and just some extra vision in the bottom isn't really going to matter, because it is so unlikely that Reignover is going to gank this lane bottom early, let alone mid lane from the right side, very passive Ezreal. So the vision in the top half of the map is just more valuable for both teams.
And you have the guaranteed CC in top in the Shen Taunt, compared to where you got to stack up on the Braum first. You also have double wards obviously on the bottom side with 2 trinkets, so it will always be harder. Only just burning Chachi a little bit while he's trying to get some CS.
Press Q, press S, win trade. We do see that Horror has moved himself up to the top lane. Not going to go for the gank as we see Yellow Star moving into the river. Some great stats, but there's that lane presence. The ward going to time out short.
This could be first blood for them. There's no ward from Huni. Reignover hasn't spotted anything. The ping ward, they're setting up everything for this. Huni is going to walk straight into Horror.
Going to be in trouble. Cocoon connects. Horror's gone spider form. Shilling Smite is down. He's going to be able to follow with the repel, and does. Huni's already flashed. One more venomous poison. The volatile spiderling's coming out. No! The shield from Huni keeps him alive. A flash forward from Vizichachi, and he will get first blood.
I think that volatile spiderling not killing Huni may actually work in the favor, because now the first blood gold they shared plus an assist. More hashtag worth coming out of that play. And it felt like Huni was smelling the play, because Yellow Star on the bottom, you can see when that Scuttle Crab had been taken. That was a while ago, indicating that Horror could have already moved to the other side of the map. Huni smelled the gank, but unfortunately for him, Elise was already in the brush.
We just saw all the vision being placed from Fnatic very early on, because they were expecting the first clear from Horror to go up to that top side and say, okay, we're now preventing the first gank. And then the vision slipped up when it came to the second time where Horror could then walk up, and we saw Huni go down. And we mentioned this, how easy it is for him to go up to this lane and kill Huni.
And that is one of the strengths of Elise. She's such a sustained jungler. She can gank at different times, whether it's 3:30, 4:30, or even 5 minutes. She can pinpoint those ganks at different minute marks, and that makes her very unpredictable, therefore a strong early game jungler.
Unicorns using it to their advantage to get that first blood. Unfortunately for Unicorns, the wave was so heavily pushed. Huni was not denied that 2.5 waves or so of experience. Has still got a CS advantage. Already has access to the equalizer, and we can see the lanes already backing. Evils hit 6 as well.
And Horo needs to return to this top lane, because what you want to do now is punish the no-flash rumble, and that again enables the Shen then to TP down to the bottom lane, because once you got that wave pushed out versus Huni, that's when Shen can lead. If he keeps shoving it into tower, Chachi might lose a tower for himself if he goes down bottom lane, not even getting a guaranteed kill.
That's what Reignover is trying to prevent here with some deep vision in the enemy jungle. He just wants to find Horo. That is usually his approach to the lanes. We said it before in the analysis, he doesn't really go for these ganks unless he knows where the enemy jungler is, avoiding the risk of a counter gank. Even now, if he doesn't find a Horo, he just takes away his camps and he says, Horo, well, if you want to do the best thing for you, which is gank top lane, you'll have to enter an empty jungle. They're meeting each other here at the cards though.
So perfect
from Reignover. Doesn't get taunted though.
Perfect for Reignover. In fact, he gets to spot Horo now, so he gets...
And he takes half his jungle as well. Raptors are gone.
Take some of the jungle away. You prevent their potential second gank that was going to happen up top here. Huni can go back and get a second ward now as well. So they really make sure he's going to be safe, because now it's all about the Shen TP on the bottom side. Can Unicorns use it to snowball?
The problem I have with this draft is, imagine if this matchup played out the same way with, for example, an Ahri in the mid lane. That would now allow Power Evil to go aggressive with a Stand United on his back, make a play somewhere. Ahri is running this very, very passive Ezreal. We see max range Feverin smells the gank coming out. He dashes backwards. No really potential for opening up the map for the Unicorns.
I also feel like if you want to run a scaling mid laner who lacks wave clear on outside of the ulti, in this case here, go something like a Kassadin into this Azir. That's a fine matchup for you once you hit level 6. Yes, you're going to be shoved down anyway, but this is going to be the same here for the Ezreal. And then it fits in with the rest of your composition when it comes to, hey, we need to dive onto the Sivir and Azir and the late game team fights with Shen ulti. That would fit in a lot better than a long range poke champion. We have to see though what Power People can do late in the game.
And we saw Power People throw out that True Shot Barrage to try and either steal the Raptors or maybe get a surprise kill on Reignover. There was some deep wards around the red buff of Fnatic from UoL. Giving them some information to work with. There is a cleanse on Featherfin, and it's used this time around as opposed to heal from game 1 of the series. And we see Horo, he's picked up an early Sightstone on his first back. Reignover already got that Cinderhulk completed. So everybody farming their way up. We're a minute away from what was a 3,000 gold lead for Fnatic in game 1. UoL, their stronger lanes are doing better this time around.
Or now picks up the Scuttle Crab top side of the river. A lot better deep vision coming out of Unicorns above, and that is the result of these winning lanes in terms of pressure. Yes, the CS might be even this game. Notorious, Reckless, and Vardax obviously for going even in CS at the 10-minute mark. However, this time Unicorns were pushing. This allowed them some deep work, some more information, and this holds Fnatic in check. They're no longer getting caught off guard as much. Remember, Fnatic is comfortable playing this game. They're only down 600 gold. We've seen teams get ahead 7,000 gold and still not beat Fnatic, so Unicorns will need to do more.
It's just all built around Horo and this Elise. It was testing the waters in game 1. Does Reignover play it? Yes, it is okay. We take it early rotation the next game, and it's paying off. He's a lot more active on the map. He doesn't have to really be so afraid of the Olaf, as we saw in the last matchup. Still, though, for Unicorns, they are looking to scale up Power Evil and then try and set up this TP with the Shen. They haven't been able to use it yet, because the lanes on the bottom side are so passive. It's just clear the waves, go back. Don't try any fights or any ganks when you know Shen can join.
And for Fnatic, I don't think they'll mind that too much. Get Huni close to level 11, wait till they can group up as a team, because you've highlighted the strength of the Fnatic team comp. No dragons taken yet, 10 minutes in. Neither team has had control of the bottom half now just yet.
This is the Fnatic early game we've seen so often in Summer Split. The low-risk early game. You don't have to go aggressive. You don't have to go for a crazy gank if you think there's a chance of a counter gank coming in from the Unicorn. So we just sit and farm. We wait for team fights where they have been the best team in Europe.
And they usually wait for the enemy team overreaching and then punishing that by a teleport from Huni. This could be the case right here. We see Horo lurking in that brush.
For another Silver lane.
Huni is prompted. He's ganking a Silver lane, and that is one of the... Alistar Silver is the pinnacle of net neutral lanes, because Yellowstar will never go in for that combo unless he's absolutely sure he can't get counter gank. He gets popped right now, but he still has ultimate. That's why Horo is not coming out of that brush. Also doesn't know if the next brush is warded or not, so he doesn't want to step in.
Still waiting there.
This is only gonna work if Unicorn set up a dive with the Shen, but that's how, again, against an Alistar. Also, if Unicorn start randomly really shoving the wave.
Hit a minion!
He's dragging the minions to the wrong side. He wants to move Reckless towards the brush, but you can't do that if you have minions on you, especially Horo as well. He could have actually had an angle on the Cocoon slightly earlier, but the play is too forced, and eventually
Spell shield as well.
If you change these laning behaviors, I can almost guarantee that Bardax and Hylissang have not been playing like that in the laning phase so far. Therefore, Reckless and Yellowstar were likely aware that Elise was in that rush.
But that's why it would be way too predictable if that was ever going to work. If Bardax starts randomly hard shuffling the wave, obviously they're going to call, okay, Shen is going to join in. Chachi now, he's in trouble.
I think he's dead to Fishio. Undertow. And kill credit to Featherbear. Probably even better.
So one of the things you can do with this Nashor's early as is you can fast push your waves so effectively against an Ezreal who has to use his ulti to clear the waves out. You can just shove it in and leave. Notice how Featherbear is going to return before the wave even hits his tower.
And this is the way plays turn out to be in League of Legends when it goes over multiple minutes. The play that was done here by Fnatic, which is moving 3 members to the top side, was set in motion by the Unicorns. By camping that bot lane, by using your resources so hard on the bottom side of the map, this leaves you exposed in the top side of the map. Perhaps not immediately, but 30-40 seconds later, Fnatic punished the top lane, punished that lane from GG Chachi, and obviously he can't stand United himself, unlike other lanes, so he has to be safe. And that's why I think it's a mistake from Horo trying to gank that top lane.
You need to gank the lane with the Shen, so you open up for the Shen to come down to that bottom lane. Use pink wards on the top side. Fight that vision with Reignover. Don't allow him to invade into your jungle freely over and over and take your camps and place the deep wards. You need to own that side if you're Horo. That's one of the ways you could have snowballs the early game. Instead now, we get a Fnatic lead once again. Yellowstar will be caught out, but he has ulti.
He does, and he throws it down. Unbreakable Will is out. Pulverize goes down. Reignover also has the ability to get rid of everything round for you. Ragnarok in a second. Ghost is up. Ragnarok's up. Flash forward for the Mystic shot. Reignover may have held on to that a touch too long, but you can't shake the knockup.
Cooldown, just a few seconds on the cooldown for him, so he couldn't prevent the CC coming in before it was too late and he ends up going down. But greedy check as well from him.
Now on this BF pickaxe timing on the Lucian and the Alistar ulti being down, this could actually prompt a dive on the bot lane from Unicorns, because Alistar obviously never dived in because of Unbreakable. With Stan United, they could actually go for the dive. However, you have to make it quick, because 4 seconds is all it takes for Huni to land. Equalizer could turn it all around, but it could be another opening for the Unicorns here.
Especially also with the tier 1 tower already gone in top, it's going to take a while for Huni to shove it back down, so you can just see the Shen. If you pay attention to it in minimap, in case Unicorns are setting up for a dive, how he's just going to walk away from the minions, sit in a bush, ready, and then he can always TP in onto Hylissang when he jumps in first, or of course the Elise if she's down on the bottom side. This mid tower is slowly but surely going to be chipped away by the Azir, and if there's no help from Power Evil, that tower will fall, so Unicorns have to be ready to make the play.
Well, we talk so much about a UoL tower dive. Fnatic say, screw that, we'll start our own. Chachi's going to be able to arrive. So does Huni. They've got one, but they've lost one in a fight. Yellowstar is down. His first death of the series. Chachi is being focused by Huni and Reckless. Huni's tanking up the tower shots. Here comes Reignover. Undertow, Reckless swing. Undertow, he's got one more. And the kill credit to Featherbear. They may be able to get a tower. Undertow's going to at least slow Hylissang. Mystic shot coming out. Reignover's running. Mystic shot's being blocked. There's no true shot for all. Hilly flashed for the Winter's bite, but it ends up biting him. Now Huni's coming back in. Gonna find 2 Electro Harpoons before Power of Evil gets his second kill of the game. PoE's not done yet. True Shot Barrage getting reduced on cooldown with each Mystic shot. Reckless, 300 HP. Flashes, another Mystic shot. Power of Evil's got a triple.
Such a greedy dive from Fnatic. They had no ulti on that Alistar. They're going for it. They know another one. 4 kills now for Power of Evil. This might just remove his weak mid game and shoot him straight towards the point where he's going to be so powerful with his ulti at least.
And the worst thing that's for Fnatic, they could have not predicted the amount of time that Hylissang spent in base. I just went on my screen and rewatched it. He was waiting around 10 to 15 seconds in his base trying to figure out where he was going. Then he went mid, went back to bottom. He could have arrived at the dive around 5 to 10 seconds earlier and punished Fnatic even harder. So this almost seemed like a panic reaction from Fnatic. Watch that again. He even flashes to get the right angle in the W knockup. He doesn't space out his cooldowns well enough. Manages to survive long enough to distract people while Yellowstar goes down. And now Chachi, he's buying time. Look where Hylissang is. He could have actually been half a screen further, if not a full screen further, if he just didn't hesitate as much at the shot. This could have turned out very, very good for Fnatic overall.
And there was absolutely no reason to go for this play. There were no pressure on the map. All the lanes were about to be shoved out because Unicorns got back to base. Instead, without the Alistar ulti, you take the dive. Unnecessary Power Evil playing cleanup. I mean, he couldn't have asked for a better situation.
Yeah.
Hylissang just slowing down targets for him, and then he can get in the damage. And really, Fnatic, that is not a play we normally see from them.
Characteristic mistake from Fnatic here, but overall fantastic cleanup by Power of Evil. That is one thing we did not point out in Champs League. Ezreal can always safely apply more stacks to that Winter's Bite. Because you have that apply on hit effects on the Ezreal Q, obviously, and against his slow